We are now going to go to one of the greatest parts of the meeting, which is public forum. We are honored to have a special guest with us, State Representative Joel Rudman. He's here to speak on the agenda. We're going to invite him to come up first. I want to personally thank Dr. Rudman for all his efforts in Tallahassee. He's trying his best. He's doing a good job, and we wish you well, and we thank you for everything you've done. You're more than welcome to speak up and tell us.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'd also like to extend my congratulations to NAS Whiting. I mean, what an honor to work with those individuals and to have them right here in our district, and I join with you in congratulating them. So thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, for allowing me the opportunity to update you on the issue of Navarre Incorporation. As y'all know, there's a group of constituents who are asking me to run an incorporation bill next session. This group has already met all statutory requirements to be considered for incorporation, and the next step would be for them to submit their feasibility study to the Florida legislative staff by the first week of September, where it will be meticulously scrutinized objectively by staff members in the state affairs silo. This entire process is handled exclusively at the state level. However, I have added one extra requirement that the pro-incorporation group must meet. One more hoop for them to jump through, if you will, before I even get the state involved in this process. Since I wish to do the will of the people that I represent, I am asking this pro-incorporation group to show me proof of majority support within the affected catchment area. Now, there are many different ways of showing that majority support, but to me, the easiest way is by a non-binding referendum on the November ballot this year. Now, only the county commissioners are allowed to put such questions on the ballot. Therefore, Commissioner Eddington, I would fully expect the pro-incorporation group to start petitioning you to put this item on an upcoming agenda. I would imagine probably by the end of July. Now, keep in mind, there is another caveat that y'all need to keep in mind. I have told both groups, both the people for incorporation and those against incorporation, that I will only entertain this argument once during my tenure in the legislature. In other words, gentlemen, they get one shot at this. I think that I would also expect, knowing this, that the anti-incorporation movement, Commissioner Eddington, would probably also demand an up or down vote, because this is their opportunity to put this issue to rest once and for all for the remainder of my tenure. Now, both groups claim to represent the majority. I would therefore expect both groups to be pushing hard for their right to vote in a non-binding referendum. As y'all know, prior boards have approved such requests in the past. In fact, the language on the ballot would be exactly the same as the referendum that was put on the ballot in 2014. In the absence of a non-binding referendum, the pro-incorporation group could pursue other options in order to show support. Now, to be clear, just so y'all understand the process, the results of that yes or no vote would not guarantee incorporation. It simply allows the process to proceed forward. Any incorporation proceedings would have to clear at least 2 House committees, normally 3, as well as be voted on by the entire Florida House. It would then have to pass the Florida Senate as well, only to be returned back to the district to be voted on by the people of Navarre in one final binding referendum. As y'all can imagine, that entire process would take a minimum of 1 year. So, gentlemen, thank you for your time today. In closing, I believe that as Americans and as Republicans, We don't want a government that dictates down to its citizens. We believe in a government for the people, by the people. And I just simply can't think of anything more American than asking the citizens of Navarre directly for their input on how they wish to be governed. I now will wait to hear the wishes of the citizens of Navarre, Mr. Chairman, not by phone calls, not by yelling and screaming, not by emails, but by a vote where every affected resident has the right to be heard and the will of we the people can be properly determined. Thank you for your time, Mr. Chairman.